Another video, another tour. Lots to update I think this time, but I'll try and get through it pretty quickly. So I'll flip the camera around and take you on a bit of another walking tour. Here's the sugarcane. It's growing way faster now. I don't know if it's fast enough to warrant using it as a screen along the side of the property, but I'm happy to see that it's definitely not dead and that it's growing a new leaf. Yeah, probably like every few days now there's a new leaf popping out, so that is great news, the fact that it's not dead. And there's lots going on in the garden now. The first one, not fantastic news with the first one. I hope it comes back, because it's looking a little bit iffy at the moment. I think it probably will come back, but it sat out for quite a while outside of like just with its roots exposed and everything. This one was a gift from the neighbors that didn't want it anymore, so they given it to me, and I'm gonna try my best with it. But yeah, sadly pretty much all the leaves have fallen off and just the chilies are left on it. But I do water it every day, and I don't know, maybe it just needs like the papaya and pawpaw, where it just gets rid of all its leaves and then kind of regroups and then flourishes. The aloe vera is doing so-so. It's still quite green on the inside of them, so that's good news. So I think at least the larger ones might be okay. And some things growing in the bin, so I did a lot of moving things from the big bins into smaller ones. It says stevia in there. It's not. It's something, I think it's probably goji berry. And the papaya all decided to come up. It's crazy for papaya at the moment, which is great news. Super happy with that. Planted a few of them in there. I think maybe some lettuce I think is in there, but that was only a few days ago, so it should take a little while longer. Most of this is papaya. That was from the stuff that I had put in, I don't know, it must be like 3 or 4 weeks at least by now. And there's still a few little eggplants in there that I haven't planted out, but yeah, the papaya is doing super well. This is all new stuff. I haven't actually had a look at it today, but imagine it'll be a few more days before anything starts growing in that. And then this is just extra. This one I planted, so maybe in a few days that'll have something in there. And then this is just starting to come up now. I think that's the gherkin cucumbers. And yeah, some more, I think that was beans and something else that I can't remember. But yeah, it's all starting to come up now, so that's good. The tomato plant is doing really well. It's actually started flowering, so I don't know, maybe some tomatoes in the near future. And these are all tomato plants along here. And they seem to be doing okay, but it is a bit of an experiment. This down here, these are doing really well. They grow so much every day. These are the garlic chives. And over through here, they're still like super tiny, so it might be a little bit tricky to see. But these are all the eggplant along this whole section in here. And then that's the stevia. I took off some of the stevia leaves because they weren't doing so well, but now it's growing a whole bunch of new leaves and it seems to be quite happy there, so that's good news. These are the beans. They're doing really well. They're on, I think this one's got like 5 leaves on it, so they're growing heaps like every day. And then these are the Chinese cabbage, and I just put those in yesterday. I think I moved them from the bins. And then these ones down here are the lettuce. They're really super tiny, so I hope they'll do okay, but they'd kind of just stalled when they were in the bin, so I thought maybe they needed to have a taste of freedom to grow even more. And then these are all the pak choi, this whole this whole entire row is just all pak choi. And they, I don't know, they're looking pretty good today actually. They look like they've done pretty well for themselves overnight. And these ones, I haven't watered them yet today. But these are the apple cucumbers. They're doing super well. Oh my goodness, like, yeah, they've grown a new leaf since just yesterday. They're growing really, really quickly. So super happy with those. Wow, that one's up to its 4th leaf. Yay. And then the chili plant, that's doing well too. It hasn't really lost any leaves, so the transplants seem to have gone okay. And then the watermelon, they're doing really well too. They're growing their 3rd and 4th leaves. And the shallots seem to have settled into their new home quite well too. So really the only place that I haven't planted is like along the fence line here to the end over there, and then from the chili plant over and then down the fence line here. But the rest of it all accounted for, which is pretty good, I think. So maybe in another couple of weeks I'll have it all completely done. This is the pawpaw, doing super well. It's growing heaps of new branches, and it probably grows a new leaf maybe probably every day, maybe a couple new leaves every day. And then down here is a brand new addition next to the guava tree. It is a brand new mango tree that I was given. Looks like it needs a bit of a water today, but otherwise seems to be doing okay. Yeah, it might be quite a while before it gives mangoes. I think maybe like another year or something, so I'm not holding out any hope for immediate mangoes. Not that it's even mango season anymore, really. And the guava tree is doing well. It's still making guavas, so I'm happy. Is this guava? There's one. Yeah, this guava here. And then the big news is the Papaya Forest. I was given heaps of papaya seedlings, and so it worked well with my dream of having a papaya forest. They just look like stalks now because they've lost all their most of their leaves, and just like the other pawpaw, but they are definitely coming back. They're like this one here. Oh, this one's growing quite quickly actually. So it just looks like a stalk. It was covered in leaves, but now it's growing new little leaves at the sides. So that's quite promising. I think everything should be okay. Yeah. Pretty happy that I don't think there's going to be too many that haven't made it. They all seem to be making new leaves now. It's just sort of like a week of settling in. Oh, except for the one that I accidentally whippersnippered. That one's debatable if it'll come back. Yeah, oh, that one doesn't look like it's doing too well. Oh well. Yeah, so with like 15 more seedlings that should be ready in the next week or two, then I'm not too fussed if some of these papaya in the forest don't quite make it. I hope they do though. And then down here, wow. These are sunflowers, and this one's a watermelon. So I planted watermelons along here, and then the sunflowers next to the fence. And everything seems to be doing pretty well so far. The soil doesn't look particularly good, but I do water them every day, just not today. But wow, yeah, the sunflowers are already on their 4th and 5th leaves. So I feel like that's probably pretty good. And I think that's pretty much it for the update. So definitely lots of new stuff, lots of things growing really well, and yeah, hopefully a fair bit more to go. I've definitely got some more plans, especially for some sort of, I don't even really want to call it an irrigation system, but I realized a couple days ago that because the water is way down there, and with the garden area so big now, and all the watering that has to be done, I literally walk like more than a kilometer back and forth, because it's 50 meters down to the end of the property, and I have to do that so many times to fill up the jug and then water everything every day, because it seems like the rainy season this year isn't a thing. Yeah, and I just feel like as we go into the dry season now, it's probably a good idea for me to save myself all of that work day after day after day and just run a great big irrigation pipe from the far end all the way down here and then into the garden area, so that at least I can just fill up the little watering jug from the garden rather than the street.